December 1st, 2018. Security cameras captured 22-year-old Grace Millane and her Tinder date, Jesse Kempson, preparing to leave a bar in Auckland, New Zealand. They had just met a few hours earlier, but the evening seemed to be going well. The footage shows them heading to a nearby hotel, Jesse's hotel room at the City Life Hotel. This would be the last time Grace would ever be seen alive. The next day was her birthday. When friends and family couldn't reach her, concern quickly turned to alarm. Grace had vanished. The morning after their date, something was very wrong. At 8 a.m., hotel security footage captured Jesse entering the elevator alone, throwing a suspicious glance at the camera. During the night, Jesse had strangled Grace to death. Now he needed to cover up his crime, and he needed to do it quickly. He already had another Tinder date lined up. By 8:07 a.m., Jesse was in town, starting the most disturbing shopping trip imaginable. With Grace's body still in his apartment, Jesse went on another Tinder date that same day. He wore the exact same clothes from the night before, possibly the same clothes he wore when he killed Grace. It's believed he planned to make this girl his second victim. But during their conversation, Jesse brought up a topic that terrified her: where to hide a dead body from police. The date ended immediately. Her instincts may have just saved her life. Jesse returned to his apartment and began the cleanup. At 8:56 p.m., security cameras caught him carrying a carpet cleaner back to his room, along with 2 bottles of cleaning solution. 30 minutes later, the cameras recorded something chilling. Jesse wheeling a trolley loaded with luggage bags toward the elevator. One of them was the suitcase he'd bought that morning, now containing Grace's body. It was too heavy to carry. He loaded everything into his rental car, preparing to dispose of the body where he thought no one would find it. For days, Grace's family and friends experienced terrible anguish. She hadn't posted on social media. She wasn't answering either of her 2 phones. Nobody had heard from her. On December 5th, her family reported her missing to Auckland police. Grace's father, David, flew to New Zealand and made an emotional public appeal for his daughter's safe return. With extensive media coverage, Jesse likely saw the father's heartbreaking plea, yet he remained silent. Auckland police worked to trace Grace's last movements. They discovered she'd been on a date with a mystery man. After reviewing hours of surveillance footage, they tracked the last person seen with her back to the City Life Hotel. On December 5th, at 3 p.m., officers arrived at the hotel. Jesse spotted them in the lobby and tried to casually walk away, thinking he wouldn't be noticed. But the eagle-eyed officers didn't miss him and quickly moved to apprehend him before he could escape. In the interrogation room, Jesse planned to lie his way out. He was completely unaware that police had already reviewed every moment of surveillance footage from the night of the murder. When confronted with evidence from the cameras, Jesse dug himself deeper into lies. He claimed he walked in a strange direction to feel safer, even though it made no sense for his stated destination. The detective's questioning grew more intense, applying pressure as Jesse's story fell apart. The evidence was overwhelming. The evidence was insurmountable. Credit card records showed Jesse had used Grace's card to buy the suitcase, cleaning products, and even an extra night at the hotel. Police found traces of Grace's blood in his apartment. Cell phone data placed them together. On December 7th, in his second interview, Jesse had no choice but to confess. He admitted buying the suitcase, cleaning the apartment, putting Grace's body in the luggage, renting a car, and burying her in the Waitakere Ranges outside Auckland. But even in his confession, Jesse denied murdering her. On December 9, 2018, police found Grace's body in the Waitakere Ranges, just outside Auckland, exactly where Jesse had indicated. She had been strangled. Bruises on her arms and chest were consistent with being forcibly held down. The medical evidence contradicted any claim of accidental death. This was murder. Jesse's defense team claimed the death occurred during consensual activity, what media called the 50 Shades of Grey defense. But this didn't explain his actions after Grace's death. The Google searches for hiding places, the photographs he took of her body before and after packing it in the suitcase, the deliberate cover-up. In New Zealand, there are no degrees of murder. All murder charges carry a life sentence. On February 21, 2020, Jesse Kempson was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 17 years before parole. After the trial, 2 more women came forward, claiming Jesse had assaulted them after meeting on Tinder. He was convicted on those charges as well, adding another 11 years to his sentence. Grace Millane was a 22-year-old traveler from England, exploring New Zealand on what should have been the adventure of a lifetime. Her death on the eve of her birthday devastated her family and friends across the world. What began as an ordinary Tinder date ended in unimaginable tragedy, a young woman's life stolen by a man who showed no remorse until overwhelming evidence left him no choice but to confess. This case serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers that can hide behind a dating app profile. Grace trusted Jesse enough to meet him, to spend an evening with him, to go back to his hotel room. She had no way of knowing that decision would cost her everything. Her story is a tragedy that continues to resonate as a warning about the real risks of meeting strangers online.